Look, your first year in trucking, it can either set you up for success or, well, it can break you. So today, we're going to arm you with the exact questions you've got to ask a recruiter. This is about making sure you thrive, not just survive. If you're even thinking about signing with a company, you need to listen up. All right, let's just start with a number, a big one, 70 to 90%. Let that sink in for a second. That is the percentage of new truckers who quit their first company inside of their first year. That turnover rate is insane. So you have to ask yourself, what is going so wrong out there? And here's the thing, it's not usually because new drivers can't hack it. The real problem is they get stuck with the wrong company. They end up in a situation that was just a bad fit from the get-go. So how does that even happen? Well, it almost always comes down to one simple thing. They didn't ask the right questions. They got played by the recruiter. They couldn't see the traps hidden behind all the big promises. And today, we're going to fix that. We're giving you the playbook. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the most important thing, right? Your paycheck. Recruiters, man, they love to throw around that high cents per mile number. But what you actually take home, well, that's a whole different story. Yeah, this is what the old-timers call trick math. The recruiter flashes this awesome cents per mile rate, but guess what? That number means nothing if you're not getting miles. They'll talk up these huge bonuses, but then you find out the requirements to get them are basically impossible. And all those hours you're sitting at a dock, waiting, or worse, broken down on the side of the road, a lot of the time, that's $0 an hour. The pay they advertise and the pay that hits your bank account can be worlds apart. So your job is to cut through the noise. You have to demand real answers. You got to pin them down with specific questions like, what's the actual average weekly miles for a rookie? When exactly does detention pay kick in, and how much is it? What happens to my paycheck if my truck breaks down? And are those bonuses for real, or are they just bait to get me to sign? Let's just double-click on that breakdown question for a sec, because this is a big one. It's simple. If the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. So if your truck is in the shop for a couple of days, are you getting paid anything? Or are you just stuck in some motel watching your savings disappear? You have got to know this before it happens to you. All right, here's a quick pro tip, straight from the veterans, something most rookies have to learn the hard way. The company doesn't pay for your showers. You pay for them. But when you fuel up, usually if you get over 50 gallons, the truck stop gives you a free shower credit. So the trick is to fuel smart, stack up those credits, and you'll be good to go. It seems like a small thing, but it just goes to show how many little things you're going to be responsible for out there. Okay, but it's not all about the paycheck, right? I mean, your sanity matters too. This next set of questions is all about your quality of life, your safety, basically the stuff that determines whether you're going to love this job or absolutely hate it. And this might be the most important safety question you can ask, period. Is dispatch forced? Forced dispatch means you have to take whatever load they throw at you. No excuses. So what happens when they want you to drive into a blizzard or through a really bad area with a truck that's making a funny noise? Your right to say, no, that's not safe, should be non-negotiable. And honestly, that's the bottom line. How they answer this question tells you everything. If that recruiter stammers or dodges or gets all defensive when you ask about refusing an unsafe load, listen to that. That's a huge tell. They're showing you right there that the freight is more important to them than your safety. All right, here are a few more rapid-fire reality checks. You got to ask, what are your freight lanes? Am I going to be stuck running up and down I-80 in Wyoming all winter? Another one, do you use inward-facing cameras? That's a huge privacy issue. And home time. Ask, what is your home time policy really? And get it in writing, because a promise of flexible home time means absolutely nothing. And finally, the benefits. What kind of insurance do you offer? If you've got a family, this is just as important as the paycheck. Okay, moving on to our last set of questions. And these are designed to be your BS detector. They're meant to sniff out the biggest red flags and the shadiest practices in the whole industry. You see this everywhere, right? Free CDL training. But you've got to understand what that really means. It's not a gift. It's a loan, plain and simple. And if you decide to leave before your contract is up, boom, you could suddenly be on the hook for 5, 6, even 8 grand. You have to know the exact terms of that payback agreement. And here's a really simple rule of thumb for you. A 1-year contract, a 12-month commitment to pay off that training, that's pretty standard. It's manageable. But if a company wants you to sign on for 2 years, nope. That is a massive red flag. There are way too many good companies out there that only ask for 1 year. Just walk away from that deal. Think about this for a second. It's 2 in the morning, you're in the middle of nowhere. Something's wrong with your truck, and your dispatcher is not picking up the phone. What's the plan? A good company has your back. They've got 24/7 support, maybe even driver advocates. A bad company? They'll just leave you stranded. Yep, you're seeing this question again. Do you offer breakdown pay? We're repeating it on purpose, just to hammer this point home. It's that important. 0 miles should not mean 0 pay. If a company isn't willing to pay you when their equipment breaks down, that tells you exactly how much they value you, which is not at all. Now this next one, this might just be the ultimate test. You look that recruiter in the eye and you ask, "Can I talk to a few of your current drivers?" And be specific. Ask to talk to some who've been there for less than a year. Any company that's actually proud of how they treat their people should have zero problem with this. And their answer will tell you everything you need to know. If they say, "Yeah, sure," and they actually connect you with other drivers, that's a fantastic sign. But if they dodge or make excuses or give you a flat no, that is a gigantic red flag. They're hiding something, and you should run. So, we've gone through a whole list of questions to ask the recruiter. But you know what? The single most important question of all is the one you gotta ask yourself. Before you even pick up the phone to call a recruiter, you need to be crystal clear on this one. Why am I even doing this? What's my motivation here? What's your why? Are you in it for the freedom of the open road? Are you just trying to stack cash as fast as you can? Maybe you're looking for some quiet time alone to think. Or is this the start of a long-term career for you? Because your answer, your why, is going to dictate which company is actually the right one for you. And that really brings us to the main point of all this. There's no such thing as the best trucking company out there. It just doesn't exist. There's only the company that's the best fit for your goals, for your why. Your whole mission right now is just to find that perfect match. So, I want you to remember this. You're not just getting a job driving a truck. You're the CEO of your own business. And that business is your career. It's time to start acting like it. So, are you ready to go out there and ask the right questions?